Good evening!
Good evening! Bennett-Kuroda Show!
ベネット・クロダショーです。
Once again, we're back on your computer.
はい。今日はね、東京ソングセレブレーションオンラインということで、8回目になりますね。
Number 8.
はい。
Yes, yes, number 8. We've had a lot of fine musicians on this show. We had T. We had Marcellus Neely. We had Morgan Fisher.Who else have we had? Oh my God, we've had
ジョニー・ベアフットさんでしょ
Johnny Barefoot. We've had Felix Sonnyboy last month.
はい。で、ディエゴ・ダビデンコ。
Diego Davidenko.
はい。
Yeah, man.
で、ジェフ・カリ
ー。Jeff Curry.
はい。
King of the bass.
はい。
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
そうです。
So, yeah, tonight we have singer, songwriter, poet, Saoirse Chisholm.
はい、今夜のゲストは奏者さんですね。
奏者さん。
はい、
奏者さん。
今日もね、先日サムさんと奏者さんとインタビューを収録しましたので、サムさんが作ってくれたインタビュービデオがね、この後ね、流れるんですけれども、そのインタビューの中ではね、多分ね、出てきてないんですけど、そもそもサムさんは奏者さんとどこで出会ったんですか？
Where did we meet? Yeah, good question.
When?
I don't
also.
When and where. I don't actually remember exactly when I met Saoirse. Probably around the year 2012 or something like that. And then we started doing Drunk Poets, around 2013. Drunk Poets See God, our monthly poetry event. I guess it would have been around then. And of course, it was in Tokyo that we met. But honestly, man, I don't remember exactly how we met the first time. I just don't remember. Maybe it was at some gig, a friend of a friend, But I've got the world's worst memory, man. I never remember anything, like dates, names, music I'm supposed to play. I never remember any of it, man.
いや、奏者さんとサムさんはドランクポエット See God っていうガリガリでね、
ガリガリ
詩を読む会をやってますから。それでずっとそれも10年とかやってるでしょ ?10 years maybe?
So almost 10 years, yeah, man. I mean, I think it's more like 8 right now or maybe 9, but yeah. We started, Saoirse reminded me in the interview that we started in 2013. So, it's been going once a month, every month since 2013 untilコロナウイルス。
はい、そうですよね。毎月1回ガリガリでやるイベントで2013年からずっと2人でねそのイベントをやってきてたみたいなんですけども、そのステイホームの状態になってからは中止お休みしてるみたいなんですけど、その辺の話もね今日のインタビューでは出てくるかな。
Yeah, we talk about Drunk Poets in the interview and of course her music because she's done a lot of different stuff, a lot of different things. So yeah.
全然関係ない話ですけども、オリンピック終わりましたね。
終わりました。よかったね。
Did you watch any games?
I didn't watch one single thing.I
didn't watch either. Even opening ceremony とか、closing とか、I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, not a single thing. Nah.
そう、全然ね、私ね、開会式も閉会式も、何一つオリンピック今回見ることがなくてですね、サムさんもそうだったみたいなんだけど、でもね、今思えばというか、なんか個人的にはちょっともったいないことをしたかなとも思っていて、なんか一生に一度あるかないかっていうなんかね機会だったし、例えばこう 自分がねこうボランティアで何かしらオリンピックに関わる仕事とか、まあなんか何かしらの仕事でこう関わってれば興味が湧いて見るとかあったかもしれないんだけど、全然なんか自分に関係ない世界のことみたいな感じでね、全然なんか興味がね湧かなかったんですよね。So I was saying if I even could do some kind of volunteer work or something, maybe I feel like I'm part of this event, and then maybe I will get interested in to watch some games or something.
Right.
But I felt like this is like totally outside of my role thing, so I didn't really interested in it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was that, and also for me, just the whole, I don't know, man. I don't want to get too heavy about this, but the fact that it happened during this pandemic at all, and 80%, at least around 80% of Japanese, people did not want it to happen. They were like, no, cancel it,
Right.
And then it still has to go ahead anyway. That's not really democracy, man. That's like some kind of corporate rulers who decide for us, what's going to happen. And that's a drag, man. That's a big drag,
So, man.
Yeah, it's just so much money and everything. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan. Not an Olympics fan.
そうね。
Especially after this, man.
タイミングとかいろいろね、なんかシチュエーションも今回はすごい良くなかったよね。悪かったよね。
悪かったよね。とっても悪かった。Yeah. Well, anyway, it's over. Next, there's the Paralympics.
はい。パラリンピックが始まりますね。
Right.
8月の終わりぐらいからですか？
Is that right? I'm not even sure.
多分、ね、
I'm not even sure.
多分、ちょっと僕も全然フォローしてないから分かんないけど、多分8月の終わりぐらいからなんだと思うけど、パラリンピック始まりますね。どうですか、サムさん、見る予定ありますか
？I mean, I think it's great that, people with various, what they used to call handicaps, if you're in a wheelchair or if you have this or that, physical problem. It's great, that there's sports that those people compete in. It's fantastic. I still feel the same way about the situation, though, about, whether it's the Olympics or the Paralympics. I mean, either way, I don't think they should have happened in Tokyo at this time. But they did, and the Paralympics will happen.
Yeah.
And it's good. Athletes need to do their thing. And they've been training and getting ready, and that's important. That's important in their life and their sport and their well, it's good that they can have the chance to do it, but I don't know. I just think the whole Olympics thing needs to get a new idea, like maybe like one place in the world where it happens every single time, or maybe two, one location for Summer Olympics, one for winter or something, like instead of this whole thing where you go to a different city every time.
Right.
The city and the country has to spend billions of dollars on the stadium, and then once it's all over, it's like, great, now we've got this new stadium. It's like, oh, just what we needed, a new stadium. It's so messed up, man. It's so messed up. Meanwhile, there's people from Fukushima who's still living in what they call temporary housing. They still they can't go home. They still don't have a decent home. And they spent all that money on the Olympics.
そうだね。
確かにね。
なんかリオのオリンピックもなんかビッグスタジアム作ったけど、
Yes.
ね、there's no point to use it.
It's no point. It's ridiculous. It's like use it once, basically. And Rio, that's a town God knows they need to spend money for the millions of really poor people living in Rio, you know, in those favelas, in the ghettos, you know. I mean, such poverty, man. And then the government spends that much money on a stadium. It's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's insane. It's not human. It doesn't make any sense, you know. It's just about money.
Right. なんか日本も今回そのなんかカリキュレートしたら、スタジアムのなんか有明のやつだったかな。有明スタジアムはthe place can support music maybe in the future. So probably they get profit later.
Yeah, maybe some really big concerts or something.
Right.
You know?
But that's the only one place
And
can use in that way, you know.
Yeah. And there's plenty of big arenas for big concerts in Tokyo already. They just don't need that, man.
Yeah.
It's just a way for some few people to make a lot of money. Basically. You know?
そうだね。
Some developers, some real estate developers, some contractors, some builders, and some politicians.
Right.
They make a lot of money, man. and we paid for it, man. Taxpayers. We all paid for it. You know, what a scam. It's like an organized crime, man. It's like the mafia. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Well, maybe we better get this thing rolling with Sorsha.
そうだね。このままだとどんどんダークサイドにこう引き込まれていっちゃうから。
It's getting so dark over here, man.
はい、今日は東京ソングセレブレーションの8回目でございますから、奏者さんがゲストで、インタビューしてきましたので、じゃあそのインタビュービデオそのパート1を見ていただきたいと思います。
はい、watch it. Good evening.
Good evening.
Bennett-Kuroda Show, Tokyo Song Celebration. Tonight's special guest is none other than musician, poet, all-around gal about town, Sorsha Chisholm.
Hey.
Welcome, Sorsha.
Good to see you.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Yes.
ソーシャと申します。
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
お久しぶりですね。
久しぶりね。
ね
え。1年間ぐらいね。
そうだね。1年ぐらい会ってないね。
About 1 year?
うん。
So around
Or maybe more.
Maybe
I
more.
think it's longer. I think it's
2年間
longer.
ぐらい。
2年間ぐらい。
すごいね。
Fuglen。
Fuglen と、そう、Fuglen と Drunk Poets だね。So you guys been doing the Drunk Poet events at Gari Gari, right? And
well, Drunk Poets is the project of Sorsha and I. It's been running for about 5, 6, 7 years, 10, 20 years. I can't keep up with how long it's been.
We began in January of 2013.
2013.
Yes.
Wow. So it's been a good long run.
Wow.
We had to cease live operations in February of last year. It was the last one.
That's right. That's right. So we have not done a live open mic poetry event for since then.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, that's the way it is these days. We did a little bit of online, didn't we, Sorsha?
We did 2 Zoom parties. I think
couple
we did
of Zooms.
We did a Halloween party last year.
And
we had a bunch of awesome people join us on a Zoom party, and they did their songs and poems, and people joined in from all over the place. It was very international, which was great.
That's right.
And I think we did one other one. I think it was in March or April of 2020, just to kind of keep the morale up, because I think a lot of people were freaking out at that time because it was pretty intense.
Right.
Actually, I think it could have been even in May. I'd have to check. But Sam, you went ahead and did all the editing, and we've got the YouTube channel so people can go and have a look. I think it's still up there.
Yeah. We'll throw all that URL information down below. All of it. There's gonna be 100 URLs down there for everybody to check out as usual.
So I think right now we'll just keep the Facebook page the Facebook group going and the YouTube.
Yeah.
Whenever we can.
Yeah.
And just sort of just keep it in people's consciousness, and then eventually we'll get back to doing live stuff.
That's right. That's right. And we certainly will. I look forward to the day when we can all pile into the glorious basement down in known as Bar Gari Gari in Ikenoe.
The den of iniquity. Yes.
Yeah, den of iniquity. Den of Ikenoe. I like that. Well, get this thing rolling. First of all, talking about just Sorsha's your basic sort of all of our guests so far have been foreigners residing in Japan, and one of our basic questions for everybody is kind of like, well, how did you wind up here, and when did you come, and why? So give us a little background on that, if you would.
Oh, I'll take you back. It was the year 2004. And I was living in Melbourne at the time. And I had the opportunity came to me, Tokyo calling, basically. I was pretty poor. I had completed my Bachelor of Arts in Queensland in Australia, and through the grapevine learned about the opportunity to teach English here in Japan. So I went for the interview and they said, yep, you're hired, come on over. So I was working for ECC when I first moved here, which was in March 2004.
ECC.
And yeah, ECC だよ。
ECC.
ECC 外語。
イノシシじゃなくて。
イノシシじゃなくて ECC です。はい。すみません。
ECC is like a major English speaking school here in Japan. And so they asked me, oh, where do you want to go? We've got, like, our main offices are in Osaka, and then we've got some in Nagoya and also in Tokyo. And I was like, well, of course, Tokyo.
No brainer.
No brainer. So
sorry to you Osaka fans, but
I've been here the whole time. Zuto Tokyo ni.
From 2004.
From 2004. So that brings it up to 17 years. And I've been exploring so many interesting pursuits here in Tokyo and met some amazing people, and I've had such a run. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
Well, that's what we're here for.
So
what was when you arrived and you were getting into a rhythm of teaching English at your job there and everything, what were some of your first experiences with like artistic endeavors, like performing or how did you sort of make your way into the world of performing arts here in Tokyo?
Well, it's not what you know, as they say. So I, through a friend who was working with me at ECC, who is a musician in his own right, Sean Tate, he knew that I was also a musician, and he got me involved with voice acting. So I started out as a voice actor, singing for, it was an A&E jingle. Remember back? Yeah. And so I met a bunch of amazing singers and performers just through that event alone, which was a lot of fun. And that also got me involved in voice acting as one of my professions. And so after that, just started to sort of, get about town and hear about where the local drinking halls were and any open mics going on, the English speaking community. So I started to go out a bit and ventured out, and the rest is history. I think that was kind of how I, went into it. I was living in Chiba for the first year, which is a little bit way out east, and then moved into Ikebukuro in 2005. So
Funky Bukuro.
Funky Bukuro, baby. Ikebu. Are we allowed to swear on this show?
You can use all the saltiest language you want.
Great. So I was living in Ikebukuro for about a year, and yeah, just I guess serendipitously found some exciting experiences and through the people that I met, and yeah.
In Chiba, were you living in Chiba City or further out in the remote sort of wilds of Chiba?
I was in Funabashi.
Funabashi. Yeah, okay, yeah. Kind of eastern edge of Tokyo.
Yeah, it's quite a large city. So
Yeah.
that was my first encounter with suburban Tokyo.
Right.
And it was great. I had my first year out there. It was fantastic. It was around this time, Obon. They did the mikoshi,
はいはいはいはいはい。
the portable shrine.
Portable
Around-
shrine.
So-
初めて聞いたけ
Japanese
ど
portable shrine.
It was fantastic.
初めて聞いたけど、そう確かにそうだね、ポータブルしないんだね。
Portable shrine. Japanese portable shrine.
そうだね、確かに確かに。そうです
So
ね
I got involved with the neighborhood mikoshi team, and I was wearing the
Cool.
happy coat, and
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, it was incredible carrying this heavy
Yeah.
portable shrine,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mikoshi around, and it was hot as, and then you get to the port, you have to get it in straight, you know. So
Yeah,
you know, the monitors, I guess, would be at the port, and they'd be like, no, they push you back, no, it's not straight, you gotta bring it in straight. And then you bring it in straight and you put it down, oh, it's gotta drink beer.
yeah. Of course.
Come
Nice excuse to drink beer.
So you
Always.
take a break, and then, you know, you do another round, and it was incredible.
That's so cool. So then you moved to Ikebukuro, and what were some of your first gigs here in Tokyo that really stand out in your memory? Like, were there some gigs that were just kind of like, oh yeah, now I know I'm really kind of, you know, I came to the right place or something like that?
I have to do a big shout out to the Pink Cow.
Pink Cow.
Yeah, Tracy Consoli.
So
she's
Pink Cow,
been-
it was still in Shibuya that time, right?
Yes, that's
Close
right.
to, kind of close to Harajuku, kind of.
No.
Yeah, off of Aoyama Dori. Yeah, yeah.
behind the university there. Yeah.
はいはいはいはいはい。
And,
Downstairs
they
のや
had-
つだよね。なんか pretty big
downstairs.
room.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yeah. I missed that place.
Cool space.
Yeah, that was a
No,
good
you do.
that was a good room.
Yeah.
That was a
That was
really
excellent.
A nice
really good
vibe.
room. Yeah.
Very nice vibe. So
Yeah.
the Pink Cow definitely gave me my start in Tokyo, honestly.
Ah, nice.
Met some incredible people through the Pink Cow, and did lots of open mic, and ended up putting on 2 International Women's Day events,
Oh,
showcasing a lot of Tokyo's women talent.
oh, how
And
cool.
we supported some women's charities for those events. I think the first one was 2010 that I put on there, and the second one was 2012. I want to say 2012. So we did 2, I think, there. So that was great. I think those 2 events really helped. It really made me feel quite how do you say established. I don't want to say maybe established. So I felt like I'm putting my energy into this feels really feels good.
That's
Yeah.
great. And were you mostly doing solo shows, or did you put any little ensembles together or any collaborations over you know, at that time or later?
So I was solo up until about 2011. So I started doing live shows when I moved to Ikebukuro. So it was about 2005. I got myself a guitar and went out there and started to do some shows just on my own, and also playing at Gari Gari as well, I should say. Tommy, my ex-husband, and he provided live space there, so I was able to, you know, sort of get my bearings and start to, become familiar with playing live again. So that was good. So 2011, I was working with some guys. We put together a rock band called Sorsha and the Sinners.
The Sinners. Sorsha and the Sinners.
It was really fun. We did, so I was working with Aaron Kemp, Daniel Carras, and Arada Karaduman. And over the course of, I think it was 2011 to 2013, we put an album together. We did gigs all over town. It was great. It was my rock bitch incarnation.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Nice. I tell you what, let's do that right now. Let's cut to a Sorsha and the Sinners video. Check them out.
Your shoulder. Less than 24 hours and it was over. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In your car and you drive it fast now. Gotta suck it up 'cause it won't last now. You need to
was called Dirty Hair.
So
Dirty hair.
the band is no more or still continue?
No more.
No more.
No more.
Okay.
Yeah, we broke up.
Okay. That happens.
Such is
It
the way of
happens.
such is the way of bands. They come and they
It
go.
happens. They come and they go. But it was really,
Marriage,
really fun
bands.
experience. Marriages,
yeah.
bands.
Yeah. Hey,
do.
bands are a lot like marriages very often. Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So ultimately, I think a lot was learned about being in a band, and
Yeah.
Yeah, the keep the band project going is really hard thing.
it's a lot of work. Yeah, and
Sure.
I think it was really it was just an experience that I value. I think the album is fantastic. By all means, go and check it out. Have a listen. It's on Spotify as well, and I'm really proud of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So after Sorsha and the Sinners kind of broke up or kind of stopped doing its thing, where did you kind of go from there musically?
Well, I did a video called Pussy Riot, which was inspired by the Russian protest punk band movement.
Yeah.
And they're still raising hell in Putin's Russia today, which is fantastic. These women and men are heroes in my mind. And so I was inspired to write a song about what they were doing. This was when they just came out and had gone into the church to perform a punk prayer in protest
Yeah.
to Putin, and they were arrested and they were put in jail, and they've been fighting the system ever since and are still raising hell, which is fantastic. So the song was also a collaboration to benefit the organization Girl Rising, which enables girls in poorer nations to go to school. A lot of these girls are married off at a very young age, or they don't get the education that they deserve. And so Girl Rising enables that. So I put out the video in 2014, and a bunch of my girlfriends and I got together in Yoyogi Park, and I shot the video and edited it and everything. And
Oh, excellent.
so we raised some money for Girl Rising and also awareness about it, and made a video, which was really fun.
Hey, we're going to watch it right now.
Excellent.
Let's get together.
they're still out there, and what was it? I think they disrupted the Sochi Olympics in Russia back in, I think it was 2014, something like that. And they've been arrested multiple times. They've been in a Russian gulag. They've put out videos describing what it is like in a Russian gulag, and just
Incredible.
yeah. So they're fearless, and I was so inspired to see that, and was like, get behind that for sure. And there was a lot of stuff going on in American politics at the time about abortion and all this kind of stuff, and it motivated me to. I think the anger element motivated me, because I often find when I feel angry about something, I feel very helpless about it. But then I remember, oh, hang on, I'm a songwriter, I'm a poet. I'll channel it into that. And that lets off the steam. It allows me to put that anger into passion and into art. And it really helps. Yeah, I can't change what's going on in the world, but I can write about it or I can sing about it. So, and you're right. I think it is important for artists to reflect the times that they live in. Nina Simone said that. She said it's their duty, it's their responsibility to hold up a mirror to society. Bob Dylan did that a lot too, So I think, a lot of the entertainment, well, the music industry today is all about vanity and, shaking your booty. And it's not really about, ruffling feathers or rocking boats, but I think it should be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hi,
We're back.
Part 1 です。
Yeah, that was part 1. The musical history of Saoirse Chisholm here in Tokyo. So yeah, Saoirse, as we learned, comes from Australia.
はい。
And according to our interview, she was living in Melbourne.
メルボルンですね
Melbourne, yeah. At the time, that she moved up here. But I believe she's not from Melbourne originally. I think she's from the west coast of Australia, the other side. I think she's from like Perth or something.
へ
I think so.
え。
Maybe if she's watching, she can make a comment and let us know. Oh, speaking of comments, look here. We heard from Lex Miller.
Lex!
Lex.
Peace.
Peace.
As usual.
Peace.
Thank you
Peace
for
and love,
watching.
Lex. Oh, yeah. And Lex said, I didn't know this side of Saoirse.
そうだね。
Yeah, that's cool, right?
ロックバンドやってて、ロックバンドかっこいいじゃんって思ったんですけど。
Yeah, her rock stuff was great,
ねえ。すごいスタイル、なんていうのnice match her singing style and I think character as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she could bring that sort of, as she says, rock bitch thing to it, She could bring that. They're very cool. Very cool, yeah. I think she doesn't do too much of that these days, but yeah, it might be something she wants to get back into someday. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I think to do these shows, and even somebody like Lex who knows Saoirse. He knows Saoirse from Drunk Poets.
そうだ、そうですね。はい。
Yeah.
そうです、そうです。
Lex has been a regular at Drunk Poets See God. But he didn't know about this stuff in the past, and that's one of the main reasons we like to do this show, to kind of introduce the whole history of people, not just what they're doing right now, but the things they were doing before you even knew them, which is
確かに。
yeah.
まあフーグレンでやってたイベントとか、もちろんドランクポエットのイベントとかでね、定期的に顔を合わせてても、ここまで深くイントロデュースしないよね。
Yeah.
だから、I think it's a good chance to let people know and let me know the who they're coming from originally.
Yeah, exactly. Their history.
今回でね8回目なんですよね。
で Number 8.
はい。で来週実は我々またライブするんですけれども、ライブ配信やるんですけれども、東京ソングセレブレーションではなくて、来週の火曜日夜8時からはですね、久しぶりに通常の、レギュラー放送のベネット・クロダショーを久しぶりにやろうかということで、テーマが決まっております。何について喋りますか、サムさん。
テーマはね、来週のテーマはなんていう日本語で材料、
はい、材料ですね。
ingredients でしょ。
ingredients、はい、材料。はい。
Yeah、
レシピとかでもいいんじゃないですか。料理
レシピ
の
料理、
はい、
そう。Our
で
theme
材料とかね。はい、そうですね。
材料。Yeah, exactly. That's right. And so for those of you who don't speak Japanese, Daisuke was just explaining that next week we'll be back with the Bennett-Kuroda show, but not this kind of Tokyo Song Celebration interviewing a local musician kind of vibe, but just Bennett-Kuroda. And we're going to be talking about food, ingredients, recipes, cooking, where to find good ingredients in Tokyo, etc. So any of you cooking type people, tune in.
はい。お願いします。ぜひね、
お願いします。
アドバイス、コメントお待ちしております。
Yeah.
はい。
You know, Daisuke and I, we both love to cook.
そうなんですよ。
でしょ
料理するんですよ、結構。で、サムさんにクスクスを教えていただきまして。
クスクス。
そう。まあこれも来週喋るかもしれないんだけど、クスクスって、なんだろうな。食べたことなかったし、でそもそもどういう料理かも分かんないから、自分で買おうとも思わないし、どこで買ってもいいね、買えるかも分かんないから、でサムさんがこうクスクス料理をね、トマトソースとこうやって混ぜて食べるんだよって言って作ってくれたんで、そしたらすごい美味しかったから、自分でもやってみようと思って、自分のねよく作るトマトソースと、で多分なんだろうな、オリジナルのクスクスはノーグッドだけど、ソーセージとか自分はソーセージとか入れるんだけど。
Oh, yeah. Well, I think couscous is one of those dishes you can be very creative and flexible with, man. I mean, I think one of the most common meats to put in couscous is chicken.
そうですよね。
Yeah, but yeah, sausage, why not, man? It could be anything. It could be pork. It could be beef. You know, it could be vegetarian. So, you know, whatever. We do a lot of vegetarian couscous here at the house.
クスクスってなんかあれじゃなかったっけ？イスラム系のなんかやつでしょ？多分。
Yeah, it's a Middle Eastern dish.
だから多分。その国ではノーポークじゃないとかノービーフじゃない。
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you can't have beef and pork. So chicken is big.
チキンは OK。
Chicken okay.
なるほど。
So chicken is big in Muslim countries where they eat a lot of couscous. So like for example, when I was traveling through Africa across the Sahara Desert, we ate couscous with these guys we were traveling with. Every single day. Every single day we ate couscous. And it was always, you know, a tomato sauce with some, you know, potatoes and maybe some, a few vegetables and chicken.
なるほどね。
Yeah, chicken.
Lex says yum. So,
yeah,
next
yum.
weekはもう basically we talk about yummy things.
Yeah. Next week, Bennett-Kuroda show, Tuesday. What is that going to be? What date is that going to be?
17日ですかね。17th かな
17th, of course. Today's the 10th, yeah. So 17th, we'll be back with the Bennett-Kuroda show, and we'll be talking about cooking.
はい。8時からです。
All right.
8
8 o'clock. Start at 8 o'clock next Tuesday. So, yeah, gosh. I mean, we're not getting a flood of comments on this particular show like we sometimes do. We can only assume that the people watching are so incredibly engaged with what we're saying that they can't possibly take a second to hype out anything because they might miss some important point that we're making. Right, Daisuke?
そうかもしれないね。
That must be it. That must be it. So I don't know, man. You want to get back to the Sorsha interview, or you got anything else you want to talk about?
そうですね。最近味噌作りました。
Oh, miso. Now we're back. We're going to talk about food some more.
Next week だね。Next week.
Save that for next week.
そうだね。Next week で、はい。ホームメイド味噌の話とかします。
Homemade miso.
はい、します。
Man, this is a guy, Daisuke Kuroda. This is a guy who makes his own miso at home. That's awesome.
はい。
I've seen it happen. I've seen him open the enormous bucket after it's been sitting there for 5 months, and you open it up and you take the weight off and you scrape off the moldy part at the top, because that's what happens. This weird kind of moldy thing at the top, you get rid of that. Dig in and you got your miso, and it's oh, that's good.
So
I was there. I saw it. I ate it. Daisuke gave me a lot of his miso. It was so good. Oh, yeah.
That was my first time. Then this is my second time.
Now you've got a new batch going.
はい、そうです。
That's so cool, man.
Next week ね、じゃあwe talk about this.
Yeah, we'll talk about miso.
じゃ
Miso.
はい、来週の、8時からですね、火曜日。
8時から。
はい。
来週。はい。
お料理について。
お料理。
テーマね。では、奏者さんの、インタビュービデオのパート2をご覧いただきたいと思います。
はい、やりましょう。
It makes me happy to hear that so many people have been inspired by the Drunk Poets themes and events.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that we're continuing that with the Cheshme TV Song Challenge. It's a little bit of a spin on it, but it's also been very motivating for me to...
Absolutely.
In lieu of not being able to do Drunk Poets, to be able to still keep with the community and to create and to share. And so that's been really good. So I think the most recent one we did was theme with Stars Dissolve.
Oh, yeah. On the Cheshme show. Sure. Stars Dissolve.
I think I gave you a video for that too.
Yes. We'll be playing that. As a matter of fact, let's play it right now.
Okay.
Stars Dissolve, based on the Cheshme Variety Show theme challenge. This is Sorsha's interpretation of the simple theme they gave us, Stars Dissolve. Let's hear it.
This song is called Stars Dissolve. Into the blackness, a burning nebula, melt into the cosmic web I grow. Aspirin in your water, honey in your tea, sugar on your tongue, kiss your salty lips, lime tequila. Dissolve, dissolve, stars dissolve. arrow released from the moonbow, droplets on the window. I am just a figment of your imagination. Why don't you give yourself a chance and dissolve, let the stars dissolve over you. Into the blackness, a burning nebula, melt into the cosmic web.
So there you have it. Stars Dissolve from Saoirse Chisholm. Her contribution to the latest song challenge at Cheshme TV variety show. Now we're going to talk a little bit about an album Saoirse made just a little while back. Kind of an epic collection of songs that I had the pleasure and honor to join in on a few of them. It's called Hymns for Her. And Saoirse, tell us a bit about how that whole project took off.
Well, the songwriting had been done over the course of many, many years. The songs on the album, some of them were quite old, some of them were quite new, and they were all on a theme of women's spirituality, women's struggle, women's self-actualization, and a lot of them were very personal. A lot of them were a lot more sort of general. So I got together with my engineer friend, Jakey Slater, and we started recording in 2014, end of 2014. And this was just after I finished Pussy Riot. So we started on the next album together. Yeah, so Pussy Riot was actually with Jakey as well. So, so then we started working together quite regularly. And I was like, okay, I've got this vision for this epic album. It's going to be a journey. So, there are 11 songs on the album. And Sam, I think you contributed to, 3 of them, which was fantastic. Your percussion was just fantastic. And it took 2 years. No, not quite. It was a year and a half. We finished recording at the end of 2015, and then it was released in 2016. And then we had 2 concerts to promote it, which was fantastic. It was like a 9-piece ensemble on stage.
Yeah.
One in 2016, the next one in 2017. And it was just, quite the ride.
Yeah, that was a great gig. That was great.
It was amazing. So I think we've actually got some footage of you and me, Sam, playing on the Fugly song, and Boiling Bitter Wine with Jeff Curry.
Excellent. We'll be running some of that a little later.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was from the second concert in 2017. After that, I went to Europe and did a tour. I went to the UK, London, Bristol, and then went over to the continent and did some shows in Amsterdam and over in Germany in a little town called Cottbus, where my
I've heard of
ancestors
that.
come from.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
of that
East
town.
Germany. Did a show
Yeah.
there with my friend, and then up to Berlin for a very strange open mic, but that was a lot of fun.
Huh.
And then up to Copenhagen for a concert with some wonderful women friends, and then so it was like a month on the road doing
Nice.
solo
Wow.
performances. Actually, with the 2 shows in England, I was joined by my partner Dylan Hunter, and he and I played London and Bristol, and he was accompanying me on violin. So yeah, that was just wow. The whole thing was such a super duper adventure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to get out and play in different towns, and especially in a kind of tour setting, to kind of play every night or play, regularly enough so that you get a rhythm of performance flowing. It really gets a lot of experience under your belt in a really good way,
And it's such a buzz,
Oh yeah.
as you know, Sam,
Yeah.
being a performer yourself.
Yeah. You can't beat it. So you did Hymns for Her.
Yep.
And had the shows in Tokyo, did a, kind of toured the album, as they say. And you mentioned that you did a couple of gigs in England that time around with Dylan Hunter on fiddle, who happens to be a member of your current ensemble, if I'm not mistaken, the Raven's Tail.
That's correct.
Yeah. Now, tell our viewers out there in internet land about the Raven's Tail. What's that band all about?
Okay, so Dylan and I, we were just sharing our mutual appreciation for certain kinds of music, certain songs. And he said that he really wanted to cover an old blues song called In the Pines. And I was like, oh, yeah, we can figure that out. Cool. Yeah, great. And then another song that he introduced me to was called Barton Hollow by the Civil Wars. And I really loved that song too. Beautiful harmonies. And so I was listening to the themes of these songs, and I was like, wait a minute, these songs are both about murder.
Great topic.
And I'm like, hey, the dark light goes on above my head. I'm like, wait, maybe we could get a band. Maybe we could, do these songs and then see if there are any other murder ballads out there. Well, my friend, it
And of
seems
course.
that murder ballad is not a new thing. It's been around for quite a long time. So we're like, okay, we got Dylan on the violin, and I can do guitar, I can do piano and vocals, and we can both sing. What else do we need? Let's get a bass player. So we teamed up with Ayumi Sato, who's an incredible bass player, double bass player, and he fit like a glove. And so we got the Murder Ballads band together, and the Raven's Tail came to be.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect name for a band that specializes in murder ballads.
Oh, it's wonderful. I just
Yeah.
kind of had a vision of the three of us being these ravens who would witness these grisly murders and then sing about them.
Sing about them, yeah. Cool. Well, I'll wave my own banner here and say that I wrote a tune especially for the band.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
The Ballad
Yeah.
of Molly Branson.
Ballad of Molly Branson, who just has had enough abuse and winds up, well, we won't give it away. But you
No,
can
don't
listen
give
to
it
the song
away.
sometime. Yeah, murder ballads. That's a rich vein,
Yeah.
as you've discovered in the history of songwriting. Just so many great songs, and
There's something about it, like some of the songs that we do reach right back into medieval England.
Yeah.
And the language, the language that they use. And there's actually one of the songs that I love playing is called Three Ravens. And it's an old English murder ballad. and it's very sumptuous and dark and melancholy.
Yeah. What was it about the English that made them love murder songs so much? You gotta wonder.
They're just dark, grisly bastards. I don't know.
Dark, grisly bastards. Like, and most of the murder ballads from Appalachia tradition, from the Appalachian traditions, in sort of country music or folk music, mountain music, old time, originally come from the English.
And the Irish and the Scottish.
Yeah, English and Irish, Scottish ballads. So it all kind of seems to come out of those British Isles, this murder thing,
Yeah, I mean, I think I was reading somewhere that back in the day, murder ballads it was kind of like how news got around.
Yeah,
The bards would compose these ballads of this particular story, and they would sing the songs, and then the songs would just travel around the countryside, and then they eventually traveled across the oceans to
the new world.
To the new world, and and now you've got the country versions, the bluegrass versions.
Yeah,
it's just a very rich vein, like you say. Yeah,
totally.
でも確かにそのイギリスってその殺し屋みたいな話多いよね。なんかそのなんだっけ
どういう意味殺し屋
はマーダーです。マーダーです。
murder, okay.
でなんかジャック・ザ・リッパーとかさ。そういう話ストーリー多いよねイギリスってね。
そうですね。
なんだっけジョニー・デップのさなんか髪切るやつもあったじゃん。
スウィニー・トッド。
そう、あれもなんかね、ミートパイにしちゃうやつでしょ。
そう。
なんかイギリスはそういうの多いんだね。なんかその殺し屋の話みたいなのが。
They love it.
I think it comes from a dark sense of humor as well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So yeah, we do a lot of covers, obviously, and we've written a few originals. So that's one of the videos that we've included today is an original that we wrote.
Nice. An original murder ballad from The Raven's Tale.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I tell you what, let's break now for some music from Hymns for Her that we were discussing earlier. And we'll follow that up with a little bit of The Raven's Tale. And then we'll be back.
body was found on the Parsons Bridge. Jane's mother came to call. She seemed so weak and small as my mother poured her tea. She turned to me. Don't go past the northern ridge, Mama said to me. That is where the bad things live, and they are always hungry. The mothers went for a walk. Mine held my hand as they started to talk. That's the fourth child taken this year. Something wicked and strange is happening here. I thought about poor Jane, how she was so good and smart and plain, and Billy, Bobby and Tom. Why had they strayed so far from home? Don't go past the northern ridge, Mama said to me. That is where the bad things live, and they are always hungry. After school the following week, I was playing with Jimmy by Blackwater Creek. I asked him if he was brave to come and see a secret cave. He nodded with wide eyes. I told him to tell his parents lies as we walked towards the place. In my mind I could see my mother's face. Don't go past the northern ridge, Mama said to me. That is where the bad things live, and they are always hungry. Up the hill we climbed. We sang songs and silly children's rhymes till we reached the top. Out of breath, we finally stopped. I showed Jimmy the cave. It was cool and quiet as the grave. Suddenly he turned around and picked up a doll lying on the ground. He asked, "Isn't this Jane's?" In the dark I smiled and started to sing. Don't go past the northern ridge, your mama said to me. That is where the bad things live, and that bad thing is me. Don't go past the northern ridge, your mama said. bad thing is me. That bad thing is me.
So, we're back. That was some videos from the Hymns for Her era of Sorsha's musical evolution, as well as something from her current band, The Raven's Tail, specializing in murder ballads. And Sorsha, I hear through the grapevine, little birds are telling me that you have a new podcast that you're hosting, and I want you to tell us about it.
Well, the new podcast came out a few months ago. I've done 3 episodes. It's a monthly podcast, and I usually release it around the full moon. It is called The Which Way Spellcast.
Which Way Spellcast. I like that, Spellcast.
The Which Way Spellcast, yes.
Ah. And the witch is, I presume, spelled W-I-T-C-H, as in witch?
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Which way? Which way do you
which
go?
way?
You go to the which way, you
なる
know?
ほど。
Okay, yeah,
魔女
nice.
魔女ですね。魔女。
Majo.
はい
Mm,
Majo podcast. Majo no podcast.
うん。
cool.
So we've been the royal we. So I have been doing the podcast, just because I've always had an abiding love for radio, and I did some radio back in the day when I was in Melbourne. I was involved with PBS Melbourne, which is a community radio station, and I was doing the graveyard shift on a Tuesday night between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. So 4 hours of putting on music, which was a lot of fun. So the podcast I have themed around witchcraft and astrology and tarot and healing and all things weird and wonderful and mystical. I've been a witch for well over 20 years now.
Ooh.
And I'm very interested in that world. So I thought, hey, why don't I share my love for this with other people?
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
It is.
Well, we'll definitely be dropping a link below to the podcast. You can check it out wherever you get your podcasts, as
Yes.
they say. And
It's a Podbean podcast.
Podbean.
Yeah, Podbean. I haven't put it to Spotify or iTunes just yet.
okay. So it's at Podbean.
Podbean.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah. I look forward to checking those out. I haven't heard any yet, so.
Yeah, and also I incorporate my love for music and poetry on the podcast as well. And I've interviewed a musician, Julia Machete, and I've interviewed a healer, Crystal Gittins, and also planning to interview many other people who
Nice.
are in the magical community. So it's very exciting to have guests come on the show as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Well, Sorsha, it's been a pleasure talking to you,
Thank you.
as ever, as always. And we want to thank you for joining us for this installment of the Tokyo Song Celebration edition of the Bennett-Kuroda Show. I believe we're going to close the show out tonight with a video, one more video of Sorsha singing in Japanese.
はい。日本語
Is
で
that correct?
歌います。
Yeah,
正しいです。
すごいですね。
奏者さんは、
は
レパートリーあるんですか？例えばその日本語で歌える曲のレパートリーとかってあるんですか？
あんまり歌ってないね。
そうだよね。
ちょっと自信がないかな。もっと。
いや難しいよね。
ちょっと難しい
日本
んです。
語ね。でこの曲はオリジナルの曲ですか？
そうです。
で、 歌詞は日本語で書いたんですか、それとも英語で書いて日本語にトランスレートしたんですか？
そう最初で英語で書いてて、
はいはいはい、
そして私の友達、ちょっと相談したって、日本語で翻訳してくれてありがとうございます。
なるほど。
私の友達、K おまた、彼女が本当によく友達だと、彼女が歌手です。
ああ、そうなんだね。じゃあ上手な歌詞になんだろうね、翻訳してくれたんだね、きっとね。
そう。
楽しみですね、それは。
歌詞の翻訳難しいよ。
難しいね。だってGoogle 先生ダメでしょ。
But you know one thing, I tell you, one thing, Google is still not great, but I don't know. I'm going to get a little mention in here on the subject of translation. Have either of you checked out DeepL? That's a very good translation site.
なんか聞いたことあります。Yes.
Yeah. Much higher level than what you're going to get with Google. So just a little plug there. I have no financial interest in DeepL, but it's just really good. DeepL.com or whatever. Anyway, you just search it. But yeah, so Sorsha wrote this one in English originally, had it translated by a friend.
Yes.
And the result is something you're about to hear. And we want to thank you once again, Sorsha, for joining us.
Thank you so much, everybody.
ありがとう
あ
ございます。
りがとうございます。
Yeah. Take it away.
Listen to my lullaby, it will ease and soothe your mind. Listen to my lullaby, the sky is dark and the moon is high. Sleep is heavy and ready to take you. Sandman holds out his hand to guide you to a world of beauty, fear and fire. 'Tis the harbor of our desire. Ooh, la, la, la. 木漏れの歌に静かに身を任せ、月が輝く夜空を渡る船、 たゆたう流れのままにいざなうその手は誰燃え盛る炎が照らし出す美しい夢の港Listen to my lullaby. It will ease and soothe your mind. Listen to my lullaby. The sky is dark and the moon is high. Sleep is heavy and ready to take you. Sandman holds out his hand to guide you to a world of beauty, fear and fire. 'Tis the harbor, 'tis the harbor, 'tis the harbor. 夢の港
We're back.
戻りましたはい
Yeah, there you have it. Part 2 of the interview with Saoirse Chisholm.
はい、奏者さんの、パート2ご覧いただきました。
はい。
最近の活動がねメインになってたかな、そのインタビューのねパート2のね。
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, her and she was showing us some of her Raven's Tail, which is a very interesting band.
あ
Bass
と
and
なんだっけmodular songs なんだっけ
that's good. That's a good try. Murder ballads.
Murder ballads.
Yeah, murder.
Murder.
You got to work on your hatsuon, man. Murder.
はい。
Yeah, they specialize in murder ballads, murder songs, which is, nice idea. Yeah. So, hope everyone enjoyed learning a little more about Saoirse Chisholm and her musical journeys here in Tokyo. And as always, we're happy to bring a little, bring various people from the Tokyo scene into the public eye a little more and give them their history, give people's history, and we do our humble best, don't we, Daisuke?
そうですね。Yes,
We
exactly.
just do our best.
はい。Lex says, great show. Thank you.
All right,
ありがとうござ
Lex.
います。
I think Lex was our only commenter tonight.
そうだね。どうしたん
What
だろ
the? I don't know. We had upwards of 10, 12, even 15 people watching at some point, but no comments except from Mr. Lex Miller. Peace, Lex. Peace. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. And next week.
そうです。来週
来週
17日火曜日ですね、夜8時から、レギュラー放送のベネット・クロダショーをやりたいと思っております。で、テーマはですね、食べ物。はい。で、なんか皆さんがね、このステイホームの間にね、なんか発見したフードとかね、そのグリーディエンスとか、なんかアイディアがあったらね、ぜひね、コメントに書いていただきたいなと思っております。
Yes, yes. Feel free to bring your own recipes and ingredient suggestions in our next broadcast next week, Tuesday, same time, same station, 8 p.m., Tuesday, the 17th of August. Bennett-Kuroda Show will be back, so please join us.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。Well, all right, Daisuke, I guess it's about time to sign off.
はい、じゃあ今日はね、この辺で、はい、終わりでございますね。
終わりでございます。終わりでございます。
はい、皆さん、今日もね、お付き合いいただきありがとうございました。で、また来週お会いしたいと思いますし、また来月の火曜日もね、東京ソングセレブレーションで、我々、ライブ配信やりますので、ぜひ、お時間ある方は、参加してコメントぜひお願いします。
お願いします。
はい。じゃあ、ありがとうございました。